Hey, beautiful souls. How you doing? It's Gina here, Too Much Woman. I am so fired up to address what is probably the number one question or comment that I get across all my social media channels. And I'm going to lay it down and demystify it. It has to do with confidence. I get questions on the daily. How do you get the way that you are? How can I harness some of that energy? Where do you get so confident? What are you doing to get yourself into this state? And there are a couple things that I want to demystify. First and foremost, if you aren't in my Facebook groups, Spiritual G Spot or the Too Much Woman Movement, I invite you to jump in there because next month we're going to be doing a whole series around confidence because this for me is the alpha and the omega. It is the game changer and it's what has changed in my life. So first off, let me demystify confidence. Confidence is not the thing that's for the select few. It's not a personality trait. It's not a characteristic. It's not for outgoing people. It's not for people who are the most beautiful or feel really good in their skin. It's not for the financially successful or the people who have achieved great things in their life. There's not really a marker or milestone that you cross that garners you confidence. I have the great privilege of knowing some very, very successful and beautiful, incredible people. And when you peel back the top layer of how they show up, there are some of them that are underneath a crumbling mess of self-esteem. And conversely, what is true is I know some incredible people who on the outside don't have all the suave and sophistication and charisma of a typically confident person, but spend a little bit of time with them. And there's this deep-seated, rooted assuredness, knowingness about them that isn't cocky and it isn't showy, but you can just feel the energy of them that is so grounded. This is true confidence. And so that's number one. Confidence is something that's available to everyone, and you don't need to be a certain kind of person or achieve a certain kind of thing to have it. So that's number one. Number two, to demystify confidence, is let's talk about what confidence really is. Confidence is not the person who says, I'm going to jump in the ring like Muhammad Ali style, and I know that I'm going to win. Confidence is not the person that says, I'm going to run this race because I know that I will come in first. Confidence is not me going to speak on a stage to 1,000 people and say, I'm going to kill this talk. Okay, that's not confidence. That is a mixture of cockiness and a little bit of delusion, because here's the thing, we don't know. We don't know. For those of us who dare to live on the precipice, right? To ride the edge and constantly challenge ourselves, we don't know. I don't know that my book's going to be a success. I don't know that people are going to show up on my tour. I don't know that doing a video is going to land with people. I've been speaking, this is my 25th year as a professional public speaker. It's all that I've ever done. And I don't know how many times I speak a year, but it's a lot. So add up all those times. And I will tell you what I know for sure is I don't know when I take the stage that I'm going to kill it every time. I just don't know. There are some days that I'm on fire and it lands and I know it and I feel it. There are some days where it's not there. And I do all the prep and I do everything and it just doesn't quite land the same way. I know that there are times where the audience is off or we're a mismatch. Heck, there was even one time corporately I was speaking to like 1,500 people in an event and a fire alarm went off in the middle of my talk and we all had to exit and then we had to come back and I had to regroup. I mean, I just don't know. Nothing is for sure. So confidence is not saying I'm going to do this because I know I'm going to kill it. I know I'm going to be successful. I know that I can achieve the end result. That's not confidence. Confidence is the person that says, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to step in the ring. I'm going to take that shot. I'm going to take that chance. I'm going to leap because there's a deep-rooted knowing, a deep-seated faith that no matter the outcome, I can handle it. No matter the outcome, I have a sense of resiliency, a deep faith that I can handle and make the best of whatever the outcome is. That is true confidence. Okay, so that's number two. And number three, the question then becomes, how do we get to a place where we're able to see ourselves as being able to handle the outcome? Well, here's my answer to that. Your mind is like a Google search engine. Okay. And so what happens is, let's say I want to be more confident and I type into my mind, Gina is confident. My mind, just like Google, starts to search for evidence for proof, right? It's searching in my belief system and in my history and in my past for times that I have been confident. And so it's looking for matches. And if I can't think of any, because the mind is fear-based, right? So it wants to like overlook things and it just wants to keep you safe. So if I can't think of anything, it shows no results. It keeps spinning. So what I have to consciously do, and I do this as a practice, is I have to constantly look for evidence, for proof to myself that I have been confident in the past, in big ways and in small ways. And in fact, this is a great exercise for you. I invite you to do this, is to actually write down, create concrete proof for your brain, for your subconscious mind, that you have demonstrated confidence in the past, even if it's in little ways. It could be daring to take a fitness class, or daring to speak up in a meeting, or daring to do something that not everyone approved of. Like, confidence shows up in so many ways. Look for proof in your past that you have been confident in big ways or in small. Maybe you spoke up at a restaurant when they served you a shitty meal, whatever it is. Make a list and continue to revisit that list and to add to that list, so that you can start to rewire your brain, this Google search in your brain, so that when you have to show up confidently, your brain has concrete proof. Your Google search will land on all of this proof that you have been confident in the past. And we need to write it down. We need to think about it. We need to look for evidence of it, because our brain just isn't wired that way. It wants to keep us safe. This is really important for me to say too. There are probably a gazillion things that I could say on this topic, and I will. In about a month, join my groups, because we're going to be talking about this. But here's one thing that I need you to know. For those of you that follow me, I do not wake up in the morning feeling like I'm going to kill every single day. I am just like everybody else who wakes up, and within seconds, I am flooded with thoughts of, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Imposter syndrome. I'm too scared. I don't feel like it. I don't have the energy to. I'm not smart enough. I'm not beautiful enough. Like, the same thoughts you have, I have. But what I've done consistently over the years is I know how to switch tracks. I know how to, when the momentum of my energy is moving into that spiral of low self-esteem, I know how to switch tracks and start to look for evidence that I can show up the way that I want to show up. So I catch that baby before the train flies down that track, and I switch the momentum. And that's what I want to teach all of you. So in short, I want you to know confidence is available to everyone. Yes, even you. Great, solid confidence. Number two, the definition of confidence is not someone that does something because they know they will be a success. They do it regardless, because they trust that they can manage the outcome. And then number three, the way that we start to get there is to curate, to document evidence that we have been confident in the past, so that our Google minds can start to show results, and that starts to build our muscle. Confidence is nothing more than a bicep, y'all. It is a muscle, and it requires us to strengthen it. It requires us to continue to push the edges, and it doesn't have to be leaping off tall buildings. I think we have this idea that confidence means you're like quitting your job and going for it. No. Confidence is building your muscle. It's every day, those reps that you do every day, over and over and over again, that start to build, so that you can look back at your life and say, okay, here's evidence that even though things didn't turn out the way that I hoped or wanted or dreamt or believed they would, I was still resilient. And I still learned all of these things, and I still built this toolbox of resiliency. That is confidence. That is true confidence. And that's all I have to say about that right now. Let me know what you think. Loving you. Bye for now.